in kind of 1 year, I managed to build 2 businesses from scratch as a woman in Dubai. So this lady comes in front of me, and then I start talking about how proud I was about my business, a car wash. Every time I was talking about it, she started giggling, started laughing in my face. The first 2 times I thought, oh, maybe it's something funny, happy to make people laugh. But then I realized she was literally mocking my business. And then I realized, you know what, this is not going anywhere. We need to stop it here.
As a female founder here in Dubai, do you think that there's more opportunity here for female founders? I am currently sitting in Dubai and we are recording a beautiful mini-series interviewing women who are thriving here, who've made the decision to move from a different country to Dubai, either the UK or Europe, and really understanding what's going on beneath the surface. So today's guest, I have Maria Pruna, who is going to be talking to us about her business and why she made the move to Dubai. Tell me, how would you describe yourself?
I'm the car wash lady. Basically, I know that there's not a lot of women in the car wash industry, and I wanted to make the statement about myself that I'm a lady, I'm a woman in a male-dominated industry, which is the car wash industry, the car industry in general. And I want this to be a statement of the power of women who take up spaces where traditionally there's no space for us. So I was born and raised in Romania, but I spent most of my time in Belgium, most of my adulthood. I spent 13 years there. I had a corporate career, and I never actually saw myself doing anything else but corporate until one day when things changed in my life. I went through a divorce, met my current husband, and then he came up with the idea of building a business. Now, mind you, I had never thought about that. So it came as a surprise to me that I had to change my life. Basically, I decided that I wanted to join forces with him, me doing the branding, doing the marketing, the business development, and him doing the operational side of our first car wash in Belgium. And that's basically the start of my journey as a businesswoman. Then we decided we wanted to move to Dubai because why not? The place where cars are everywhere, everyone needs a clean car. And then last year in January, my husband came here and we bought our first car wash in Sharjah, Industrial Area 12. After that, in October last year, we bought a second license that helps us operate vans, mobile car wash vans across UAE, so that we can also offer the service for our clients at their doorstep. So in kind of 1 year, I managed to build 2 businesses from scratch as a woman in Dubai. And not only that, I decided to find my space and my voice online in a place where normally only the corporate people tend to, showcase their development, their career, basically LinkedIn. Not the common place where you find women, where you find business owners discussing about their journeys, but here we are today, and that's how we actually met.
Listen, your story, I think, is absolutely incredible. And this isn't about Dubai. This is about a woman who has moved countries in a very male-dominated country, and also not only the country, but in a business that is, I don't know any other female car wash owners. When I saw you on LinkedIn and when I heard your voice and the way you were writing, you just seemed like a real woman with a real story. And honestly, I know that we vibed as soon as we spoke. And I think it's really interesting how you are a woman in a man's world. And you've not only created that world for yourself and you've put yourself into that position, there are a lot of people who are going to wonder how you're feeling in this environment. And how does the business make you feel in terms of being around men, Dubai's full of construction. Please explain how you're feeling as a woman in this environment.
Actually, as a woman in a male dominated industry, all eyes are on you. When are you going to fail? That's the first question. Everyone expects you to fail because you don't have the background, right? I've already admitted online, I don't have a business background. I was supposed to be a teacher. So to move from that to another country, to another business that you have never done in your life, except for Belgium, that takes a lot. And people honestly feel like that's not your place. They want you out of that. They want to push you out. Although they will not tell you this, you are not welcome at first. I still remember when we were looking for a car wash in industrial area 12, we went to multiple car wash owners. They didn't want us there. They said, "Who are you? What are you doing here? You are not going to succeed. I'm not going to sell you my business." That was the first rejection. And then, of course, when I managed to buy the business, many people didn't believe in us at first. They were like reluctant to that. They didn't even know that the place was owned by a woman. And when they would see me in the office, they would say, "Oh, are you the owner?" I said, "Yes, it's me." And then all of a sudden, they would become much more like amicable. They would love to take pictures with me. You know, I typically take pictures with the cars of my clients. And then slowly they understood that actually this is also a possibility. So that's how I realized that the more visibility I put towards my business, the more I can normalize the fact that women can actually own a space in a male-dominated industry, irrespective of like whether it's a car wash or something else. There's place for us, but we need to kind of make it happen. We need to own it, and we need to take it and make it our own, in our own voice. That's why when you see me on LinkedIn, I'm always in dresses like this one in the car wash. I refuse to take on like the uniform of the boys and trying to pretend that, oh, I'm one of them. I am not. And that is fine. I'm a woman who owns a car wash, and I want to make a statement out of that.
I absolutely love that. And we had a discussion just before about being feminine and owning your femininity. Doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you're in corporate, whether you're in retail, whether you're building a brand, we should be able to show up as who we are. And being a feminine woman, because you could have taken on that male kind of appearance, you're really standing out and creating a statement for yourself. And I think it's so important, especially in a space like you said. I mean, you dealt with rejection. To walk in and say, "Can I buy your business?" and people are looking you up and down, you know, that is an element of rejection that you have had to push through. What is it that helps you with your mindset in terms of being in those spaces that helps you create the ownership of being a woman in business?
Okay, we need to go back a few steps. I tried to build the perfect life in Belgium. And I failed. As I said, I went through a divorce. I had to sell my house. And then I had to take a decision. Do I use the money towards real estate in Belgium, or I do something reckless and I build a business with zero knowledge? Before, my parents, grandparents had a very linear life. Buy a house, work until you are 65, retire, and end of story. And since I went through these life-changing events, I realized, wait a second, I have always played by the book. Why not try something different and see how it goes? Since I've failed at everything, why not fail or succeed? So that's the mindset I built for myself in Belgium. I managed to build that business from ground up and sell it at a profit. And I said, you know what, let's step up the game, which meant coming to Dubai. A place I didn't know much of, but I was very willing to learn. The mindset got built together with that. The mindset of someone who, since you've lost everything, you want to bet on yourself first and take the risk for your own mental health, for your own well-being. Because at the end of the day, no matter in which part of our lives we are, we can always redefine who we are or rewrite our story. So this is the belief that I have in myself, that I can do it, and I've proven it, and I'm here to prove it once again, irrespective of like whether people like it or not, believe in me or not. They reject me. I don't mind. I'm here to stay and I will make it happen. It might take me time, but this mindset makes me push it forward because I want to prove to people that it's possible.
When I first met you, you wrote a post about a situation you were in, and we're talking about, I think this leads on quite nicely. Talk to me about the experience that you had here in Dubai. I think you were at a networking. Was it just purely women, or was it men and women you were at?
Right. So this was a networking event where you would be matching up with different people. It will be like a speed networking event. Every 5 minutes, you would be rotating partners. And all of a sudden, in front of me comes a lady. Now, mind you, this was June 2025. I had just arrived in Dubai, 1 month in.
Wow.
I was brand new. So this lady comes in front of me. We discuss about our businesses. We exchange LinkedIn profiles. And then I start talking about how proud I was about my business, a car wash. Every time I was talking about it, she started giggling, started laughing in my face. The first 2 times I thought, oh, maybe it's something funny. Happy to make people laugh. But then I realized she was literally mocking my business. She was thinking that, oh, what is this? Why did you decide for this? Why Sharjah and not Dubai? I felt that I had to justify everything I had done while she was trying her best to, tear it apart. And then I realized, you know what, this is not going anywhere. We need to stop it here. So I just went to the host and said, let's, find me someone else.
Okay.
But this impacted me so deeply because I realized if I am a woman in front of another woman who are sharing just, on a casual basis, our experiences, and they think this is not good enough, imagine, first of all, what anyone else would feel if you are starting your business and people just tear you apart, how they would feel and how bad this could impact their mental health. And even like the decision, should I move forward with this business or not? Maybe it's a true failure. Maybe I'm a failure. And then I realized, no, I cannot let this, influence me. I'll be fine. It's just a person. It's her opinion. However, I have the obligation to speak to people about this. So that's when I decided to make that post online on LinkedIn. And it went mega viral. The amount of support I received from people because of this. I went on Dubai Eye. I went, people wrote about me. It was a huge, huge thing for me, but also a place for me to empower other people. Because even if I have a car wash and I'm just a small business owner, that doesn't mean that tomorrow I cannot do big things.
Absolutely incredible. And I applaud you because it could have sent you the other way. And most people, and I will say this, if I'd stood there and someone laughed and mocked at me in my face, it would really trigger me and it would make me doubt myself. I think that's when the disbelief comes in. That's when your confidence gets shunned. But you didn't allow that conversation. What you did was you turned it on its head and said, how can I use this to my own best interest? And how can I create opportunity from this? And a lot of these conversations that we have are so women can listen to this and think, have you been in that situation before where someone has said something to you that really turned your head the other way and then you'd left something behind, which you could have clearly done, but you didn't. And it just proves that if you just, and I think you said something about taking a risk before as well. We walk away from risk. We're scared of risk. But why do we do that? Because we're scared of failing. But when you failed, think about the things that you have, or decisions or choices that you've made in your lives, and things haven't worked out the way you've wanted to. They are all, they're your scaffolding. So once you have those parts already built up and you've got that scaffolding, the next time you walk into a risky situation or an opportunity, you know that you've got the tools to deal with it. And I think that's exactly what you've done. Again, with this conversation with this woman, that was a huge opportunity for you. It highlighted your strength. It highlighted who you were. And most of all, it highlighted the fact that you had people applauding you. That she was one person, just one opinion, one person in how many thousands of people?
Basically, this reached 240,000 people.
240,000 people. And that is proof right there, that if anybody is doubting themselves right now, go shout about things. Don't sit small, Because I think as women, we can really walk away from things and we're scared of making those mistakes and scared of that woman. That's exactly what we're scared of. But if you just turn that on its head, you've just created the most amazing opportunity for yourself. Talk to me about where you're at with the car wash now, because it's not just, it's your business acumen that I love. And you said before, you referred the fact that you were a teacher, but what you have created here is a real amazing business for yourself. And you've again looked for opportunity, which I think we all can if we just took a step back and looked at the insights. So explain to me how you've progressed from, you're not just a car wash anymore.
True. So in January 2025, we started with 4 people in the car wash. And now we have 21 across the car wash and the van business. So I look at things strategically. I didn't want to scale so fast. But when the opportunity came, I said, you know what? This is a one-off opportunity. Let's go for it. So in October, I was not prepared to buy that car wash, the license, the vans. But it came to me and it was at a very good price. So I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's try it. And I know that the tendency now is to go towards like mobility, convenience. Let's go for it. So basically I went for a loan at the bank, bought vans, made sure that we have them all on different apps running in Sharjah, in Ajman, B2B in Dubai. And from that moment onwards, I thought like, okay, let's build something else, like a website so that people know about us. So we just launched it. And I want this to become a sort of like marketplace for people. I want us to become much more like present in people's lives. We have a very good client base in Sharjah because obviously the office, the main center is in Sharjah, but we try to build, collaborations with businesses. I'm not just a person who wants one single piece of the pie. I want to explore opportunities of collaboration, bringing more to the table. That's why we actually rebranded ourselves from My Car Care to My Car Service, which is also the website name, mycarservice.ae, because I want us to become much more a big player. People, when they look at car cleaning, they also want to buy products. And this is the next step we want to target in the future. Hopefully one day have our own app, but this is something, still in the making. I don't want to take big steps before we are ready for that. Because so far it was very hard on us to just, build 2 businesses at the same time. They are both time consuming. You need to be full on them. So I take my steps. And I, document, I create systems and processes for myself so that we are ready when time comes for the next phase. So it's a kind of ongoing process. The project is long term. It takes time. And this is something that I've learned myself. And even the people that work with me learn. It's like a journey, literally. You learn as you go.
As a female founder here in Dubai or the UAE, how hard do you think it is in comparison to, I guess, being back in Belgium? Do you think that there's more opportunity here for female founders?
Honestly, yes, because there's this mindset. Everyone wants to build a business. Everyone comes here with hopes that things will happen. However, miraculously, there's opportunity, but there's a lack of mindset, I should say, because people venture into things headlong and then they realize, oh, it's not working. It's not as glamorous as people think it to be. And then they realize that the hard reality is that businesses need time to work. You need to inject money into them. You need to look at all the aspects that are around the business, whether yourself or you need to hire someone to do that for you. There is an ecosystem, but you need to be literally very strategic about it. You need to understand what's going to happen, what is the market share. It's a lot because there's a lot of competition as well. Here, I compete with car washes that are on the same street as myself. Back in Belgium, it was me against nobody. So there's a lot of opportunity here, but at the same time, you need to come up with the mindset. How do I redefine myself? Where is my space? Where can I compete with everyone else? So you need to be very agile and again learn about what are the actual needs of the market here and learn about the specificities of the market and take your time with it. I see people selling their businesses in 6 months, 8 months because they try it. They think, oh, it's going to work. But then they realize it's not going to work because they have this like big idea. Oh, I'm going to clean 100 cars per day. In reality, you might have 20. So what do you do then? Do you sell it or do you wait to build that customer base? And most people, they want the return on investment now. If it's not now, that means that the business is failing, which is not the case. Businesses need time to grow, right? That's why you need a cushion of money. You cannot rely on the business to, produce for you in the first, two years, I would say. It takes time, and you need to be aware of that. And this is something I've seen here a lot. People have this wild, idealistic idea about Dubai, where you come in, you make money in like 6 months, you become rich. That's not the case. Money comes but goes as well. There's costs. If you want a good business, a good brand, you need to put money towards that. And these are the things that people don't talk about. And especially women, I see that if they don't have the right mindset or the way to learn about these things, they start failing very fast. And this is something that I hope to empower people and women to see and to be aware of. That this is not just a game. You might end up burning your money and go back home broke. So you need to make sure that you have a strategy in place to prevent these things from happening.
Do you see a lot of women coming over here and burning out and going back home again? Or is that something that you kind of, I guess, worried about yourself? Because you've been here, a year? 2 years?
8 months myself.
So you've been here 8 months. Yeah. And in 8 months, what have you seen with other female founders?
I've seen a lot of female founders burning money and then starting to rely on their partner's money.
Okay.
Or trying to get like a corporate job just, to make ends meet so that they can keep the business on survival mode, but not thriving. Partly, as I said, because they rushed into it. Maybe it was not the right thing, or maybe it's not a good match for the business environment here. But I see a lot of people who are trying and failing. And there's a lot of people who create businesses for themselves. Like, for example, I don't know, something online, like selling things or providing services online when there's a overly saturated market here. And those kind of people tend to, lose the momentum and lose the trust in themselves because they don't have the mindset and they look for like the quick win. For some reason, people think that Dubai is the quick win, the quick buck.
Well, I just think Dubai, from being here, is very fast paced. Literally, from when I came here first, and we were talking about this earlier on, it was about 20 years ago. And there weren't as many buildings as there are now. And driving from the airport, it's like there are buildings. I mean, it's just crazy. The cranes, the building sites. And when you're out, the traffic, it just feels like, I don't know, London on speed, but bigger. It's crazy. And I think people do come here and want that Dubai dream. They're thinking this is going to be this dream world, this dream life. People are leaving the UK, they're leaving Europe, they're looking for other places to go. And this is like their golden ticket, right? This is the golden ticket for them. And I think what you said the word thrive, and you've got the grit. You look for the opportunity and you're very committed, and also you're very real about the way your business is growing and the profitability of the business to begin with. It takes hard work, and I think you need to be very open-minded coming to this country as a female founder, to understand the pace, to understand the commitment that you're going to have to put in. It's not a quick fix. And yes, you can have a golden ticket, but that golden ticket's going to take a lot of hard work to get before you get there. If there was somebody listening to this and felt a little bit stuck, a woman, obviously, because this is real women's stories, and I mean, it's not necessarily about moving to Dubai. It's more about a female. There aren't, I mean, we look at the workplace. There are not enough female founders, female leaders. We know we could run a country much better than men, sorry guys, but I just think we're CEOs left, right and centers. You know, we have so many skills to offer. And this podcast is listened to a lot of women who are nearing midlife or in midlife. What would you say to a woman who's thinking, I feel really stuck at the moment, there may be an opportunity out there for me? What would you say to them?
Okay, so I would say two things. First of all, work on your mentality. If you feel like you're stuck, you need to find the places where you feel you're stuck. I was also stuck in a marriage. I was stuck in a house. I felt like it was like a dungeon for me. And then I realized, like, wait a second, I put myself in that situation. I have also the freedom of letting go. Okay, it might cost money. It might cost a lot of opportunities that will go down the drain, a lot of work that I put in something that in the end didn't work, but letting go is much more beneficial than keeping on, repeating the same pattern every single day. Changing that mindset from someone who accept a linear path to someone who can redefine the way they live, the way they work. And you can take baby steps towards that. Like if you have a passion, if you want to do something, start on the side. I think this is the best. You keep like your job or your life, but then you start investing in yourself. It takes time, I agree, but it's better than nothing. Every day you can build towards that. And once you're fully like committed to it and say, I want to take the leap of faith, just do it. Build that business. It doesn't have to be something big. Everyone says, a business. No, it could be something even as a side gig at first. So that you can build that trust in yourself, build the system, fail. It's good to fail because then you know what you don't want to repeat. And then in that small sandbox environment, you can play and you can feel how good you are at things and you can, reiterate and improve. And once you're ready, you can turn it into a business. Then again, if you want to truly change your life, you need to listen to people, get coaches, just get mentors, get trained. You cannot build from the same place in which you were failing. So you need to learn from that failure. That's the key piece that everyone is missing. Everyone thinks, I can be the same person and tomorrow be successful. To build that success, you need to bridge it with something. Knowledge, experience. Learn from people who have done it before. That's something that I did myself as well. I am self-taught. I never learned about sales or business development, but I did it myself because I knew I needed that. I went to shadow people who had businesses, talk to those. So changing the circles you are in, find people that, represent you 10 years down the line. That's the biggest way in which you can slowly move and gravitate towards the right environment. Because you are stuck today, but again, there's a version of you that's waiting for you to, embrace it. And I know it sounds like, again, corny, but it's reality. It happened to me. It takes the decision and then the steps towards that. Action literally helps you change, redefine who you are, removing the fears, removing this like anxiety that I had myself as well. But again, I took the decision and I stuck with that. I didn't, people are fickle. They tend to like, today I want to be an owner, but tomorrow it's too hard for me. I just drop it. No, you take a decision, you go with it through thick and thin. Doesn't matter. And you'll thrive. There's so many women like myself who have never done it. I'm telling you, you've never done it before. And if you do it once, you realize, there's a version of me who is rocking it. Let that version surface. But if you don't try it, you will never know. Just like me. I didn't know I can own and manage a business. And look at me now, from corporate to business.
Thank you for that. And I think that anyone who is listening who might be thinking about moving here, come and experience the country first. Get a feel for it. Speak to people like Maria. There are so many people on LinkedIn, I think, that you can connect with and you can start having, and everyone's open to coffees here and meeting people. It's such a warm, friendly environment. Yes, it is very, very fast paced. But if it's something that you want to investigate or experience, come say hello. So we'll leave your details in the show notes, so anybody who wants to get in touch with you can do. But thank you so much for sharing your journey, your story. I still can't believe you've only been here 8 months, and I'm forever grateful for having met you.